Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 343. Yeah, 343, Doubleshot 271. Okay? First up, it's Justice League Volume 8, Darkseid War Part 2. And this is the last trade for this series. And there's a good reason for that, because this is as far as it went. Now, there was 2 more issues published after the issues published here, which the issues in here are 45 to 50 of Justice League and the Darkseid War Special. 51 that's collected in Titan's Hunt, and I looked up on Amazon where 52 is. 52 is in the second volume of the Superman Action Comics from Superman Rebirth, from the Rebirth line. Yep, that is where that issue is. But this wraps up the Darkseid War storyline. This is actually one of the more better stuff the DCU came out with. Was this epic 10-part storyline, which also included the special. Now, the storyline itself ran into some minor delays, mainly because Jeff Johns is a busy guy. Now, yeah, because he's the writer on this, and of course, this storyline pretty much wraps up his era on this book. Now, currently, he's not scheduled to do any more books. Since this run for this book's ended, he's only done a couple one-shots. He did the Rebirth one-shot, which started the whole Rebirth thing, and he did Green Lantern Rebirth. That's it. Now, pretty much he teams up with the 2 artists, well, one of whom had been the regular artist in the book since the Forever Evil storyline, to very tie in that Jason Fabok. He also brought on Francis Manapult, who actually is a very good artist. Now, in case some of you might notice on the cover, like very closely, it kind of looks like Wonder Woman is kind of starting to sport the outfit she wore during Rebirth. Basically, she kind of still has that swimsuit thing that she's known for having for years, but they switched out the bottom half with basically what has been known for years with a skirt. Okay, fine. And the fact that she's carrying a sword and shield, which is something she normally doesn't do. And plus, also, you have it where on the cover, you have it where Cyborg is wearing his Volume 1 outfit. The outfit from the first volume of his current ongoing series. An outfit which everybody ignores. Now, I look at this look, and it's actually not bad look per se. Yeah. But the thing had started off with Darkseid's death. Well, Darkseid just died, so they're doing ramifications of it. And of course, the Crime Syndicate come back. Of course, Jeff Johns had to bring them in because this was going to be his last arc. So he had to make sure every single loose end was pretty much wrapped up. And the Crime Syndicate pretty much was a loose end he needed to tie up. So at this point, the Crime Syndicate is only made up of Owlman, Ultraman, Superwoman, and Power Ring, and Grid. That's it, because everyone else died during at the end of Forever Evil. But during the course of this, Power Ring, Jessica Cruz loses her ring. She basically is free from Vroom. That ring is off someplace. I'm not sure where the ring went off to. She's now currently Green Lantern, and she's part of the Justice League. But what about the alternate Dark Trinity? What about the alternate Trinity? Ultraman, Owlman, and Superwoman. Well, of those 3, Ultraman was the first one to die. Yeah, he got killed some way during the battle. Superwoman got killed by Grell, the main antagonist of the storyline. And Owlman, and this is basically a rumor, of who was responsible for his death, because the thing ends with him basically blowing up, and seeing his blood in the Mobius chair. It's heavily rumored that was Dr. Manhattan who did that. Yeah, it's a big fan theory that's rolling around right now. It's rolling around for the past year of who he was talking about. A lot of people say it was Dr. Manhattan. It's a possibility, or could be Ozymandias, who could have had Dr. Manhattan do that. But suffice it to say, this is one awesome storyline, and Jeff Johns did a great job with it. It's just too bad it suffered through some delays. Yeah, but despite that, awesome storyline, 9.5 out of 10. Next up is another conclusion. The final trade for Darth Vader. This is volume 4. and this collects issues 20 to 25. Now, this is actually the end of the series. Now, simply put, like with Justice League, just tie up all loose ends from the series. That's simply the whole point of the storyline, which is called End of Games. That's what the storyline is called, and I love this cover. This is actually the cover from issue 25, which makes Darth helmet look like it's the second Death Star in the construction. But yeah, one of the better supporting characters in the book that I like, what was his name? He actually found out Darth Vader's real name. He actually is on the very few who actually found out. I'm trying to remember his name here. He was the Inspector from the second arc. Thanoff, I think his name is. Him, I thought, was a really interesting character. Yeah, I always thought he was a good character. Kieran Gillen wrote this character really. I'm surprised he brought him back for this last arc, because he was only around for that one arc and he wasn't seen again. I thought he was a better assistant to Darth Vader than the other guy from the first arc, because he wasn't portraying him and he's basically protecting his own stuff. And he was a very good investigator. It's just too bad Vader had to kill him. And of course, Dr. Aphra is in here as well. And simply put, you can kind of say this storyline, despite the fact it's wrap up Darth Vader series, it kind of plants seeds for the current Dr. Aphra series, which is basically 3 issues in right now, and it's done by the same creative team as this book. This was a great conclusion to the series, and I do love the fact that, like I said with Justice League, this one too, just wrap up every single loose end, making sure there's no loose ends that connect Dr. Aphra, even though yeah, she's from the series, but not exactly really big loose ends, per se. Because that's the whole point when a writer wraps up his run. He ties up every single loose end. Tries not to leave any loose thread hanging. So, from Vader's perspective, he thinks Dr. Aphra is dead. But in actuality, she's alive and she's going with her own comic book with, what's his name? 000 and BT1. And, the Black Chewbacca, Kirsch, I think his name is, the one who owes her a life debt. Yeah. Oh, and the scar. If you see him, if you want to know where he got that scar across his eye, he got that from Obi-Wan Kenobi when he attacked him on Tatooine, during the time interval between episodes 3 and 4. But yeah. Awesome. 9 out of 10. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is episode 344 and Doubleshot number 273. Okay? Until then, I will see you there. Bye.